Warning, the following video may or may not, but definitely will, contain spoilers, coarse language, and unhinged emotional rants about fictional content that will make no sense whatsoever. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello there! Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about Thor, Love and Thunder, so let's get into it. So right off the bat, we start off with some like Mad Max vibes going on, and we end up meeting this character named Gorr, whose daughter ends up dying. You know, he put all his faith in the gods, and once he actually met these gods, they basically told him they don't care about him or anyone like him, and he didn't like that very much. But lucky for him, there was an evil sword that decided that they were gonna choose him, and so now he's going around killing gods, just legit, like, he just doesn't care. It's just like, if you're a god, you're dead. Just no discrimination whatsoever. Like, that's like his whole goal, is to kill every single god that exists in this reality. So of course Thor finds out about this, and he's with the Guardians of the Galaxy at this point, so he parts ways with them, and he ends up finding out that Jane now has Mjolnir, and you know, Mjolnir was all crushed to bits from Hela, right? Not anymore. Well, technically, you know, it can still go back into bits and fly around, but it can also go back together, which I thought was interesting, because it's actually really cool to watch that thing in action. So Jane, she's got all of Thor's powers now, but unfortunately, she's got cancer, and it's not going well, and we find out Mjolnir's not helping. She thinks at first he's helping. No. It takes some energy to, you know, wield a mythical god weapon, essentially. So, you know, it is killing her, but it also, when she's wielding it, the cancer is at bay, but, you know, problems start when she's not holding it anymore or using the powers, so yeah, so that's an issue. Yeah, so unfortunately, Gorr ends up kidnapping all of the Asgardian children, so Thor, Jane, Korg, and Valkyrie go and try to enlist the help of some other gods to, you know, help them in this pretty shitty situation. And Zeus, you know, he's like the whole head honcho of like this super secret god hangout spot, right? But he's just a gigantic dickbag, so he doesn't want to help them, and so they're like, well, can we have your thunderbolt? And he's like, no. So they end up killing Zeus, but, you know, they don't actually kill him because he's a god, and the only thing that can kill a god is the sword that Gorr has, you know? So, like, that's, you know, that's a whole thing. So they just take his lightning bolt and get the hell out of there, right? So they end up finding Gorr, but does not go well. So they have to retreat, and of course Jane wants to help, but at this point the cancer's just like, fuck you, you're gonna die soon. And so she's too weak, essentially, to wield Mjolnir anymore, so Thor ends up going after Gorr alone, and turns out Gorr's been trying to get to this thing called Eternity, and if he gets there, you know, the Eternity will grant any wish to whoever finds it, essentially. And so basically, Gorr's gonna wish to kill all the gods. So Thor goes after him, and he's able to free the kids, who he actually shares his power with them, and it's super cute because they're just like going at it, and it's great. And of course Jane also is like, nah, I'm gonna fight. Like, I don't want to sit here and just die of cancer. I'd rather go out with a bang, you know, which is fair. Like, I wouldn't want to sit in a bed and die of cancer. I'd rather die because I was wielding a magical hammer, right? So, of course, Gorr ends up getting to Eternity, and he's about to, you know, wish for all the gods to die. Like, obviously, that's like been his whole thing this whole time. Obviously, that's why that magical evil sword chose him, right? So Thor is just like, you know what? Fuck it. If you want to kill all the gods, go for it. Like, honestly, I don't care, because I'd rather spend my last moments with the woman I love, which, by the way, their romance was a lot better in this one. I think because Jane was better written also, but their whole romance, a lot better than, you know, the last few movies, right? I guess she wasn't in Ragnarok, but like the first two was not the best, but glad that changed in this one because Jane was a lot better, which is good. But back to what I was saying. So Thor decides to spend his and Jane's, because she's basically just dying of cancer at this point. She's got very limited time left because, as we see, she ends up going to Valhalla, apparently, which, interesting, right? But like also not, because it's like she was wielding Mjolnir, obviously. That makes sense. And she did die a warrior's death as well. Yeah, so Gorr ends up choosing to bring his daughter back. And at this point, because Gorr's also dying because that evil sword, so he's just on death's door as well. And so basically he wishes for his daughter to come back to life, which was sweet because, yeah, like this whole time he's like super into revenge against all the gods because he got shafted by them, right? But yeah, I don't know, that was really sweet. That was just a really nice way to end it, because it's like, I mean, yeah, he literally could have just chosen revenge, but he chose to save his daughter instead, and I think that was sweet. And even sweeter, because it's like, then Thor has a little daughter to raise, and they're just like doing whatever the hell they want to do, you know, just saving people, doing kind of what the Guardians of the Galaxy were doing, but it's just Thor and this little girl, and it's sweet. And like that's literally how it ends. It's just Thor has a cute little daughter now, and it's just, that's so cute, man. But I guess like some of my favorite moments were like the fact that Mjolnir was compatible with Jane is because Thor told Mjolnir to protect Jane no matter what, and so that's why Mjolnir was able to accept Jane as a wielder, I guess, partner. I'm not really sure what you would call that, but that's why Mjolnir accepted Jane, right? And also just the hammer coming apart in pieces, that's so cool. Like, come on. That is just so fun to watch. But also, having those yelling goats, having that meme in there, actually worked, because it's been a hot minute since we've seen a goat yelling meme, which is why all these memes work in movies or TV shows when it's been like years since the meme was like at its peak, because it's like, yeah, well, like, when's the last time you saw a goat yelling meme, right? Yeah. And at the end, Korg talking about like going and like sitting in a volcano and making another little rock baby with his with his partner Dwayne, which is funny because that's definitely a Dwayne The Rock Johnson joke right there. I just thought that was funny. And like the dude had like the rock mustache and everything too. It was just so funny. I mean, honestly, that had to be my favorite part, because it was just out of the blue. I did not expect that, but it was also cute because it's like technically his Korg species, I guess, like, produces asexually, I guess. Like, they just kind of sit in a volcano, hold hands, and then out pops a little baby rock person, I guess. You know, maybe it's just like, oh, they don't want to, like, specifically go into the details of, like, how these rock people have sex or anything, because it could just be like, oh, you know, just when two people love each other very much, a baby appears, right? Like, but I think it'd be funny if they literally just sit in a volcano and hold hands, and then a baby is born. I thought that like, literally, like, no, like, metaphors whatsoever. It's just like, that's, like, literally what they do. I think that would have been funny, but, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually what it is, but, like, it also kind of sounds like, because Korg mentions, like, his dad's both, like, sat in a volcano, held hands, and then he was born. So it's like, are they just like a just male-only species? Kind of like, you know, the Amazons, you know, with like Wonder Woman and everything. It's like, yeah, I don't know, I think that's cool. But yes, so on a scale of trash to a banger, it's, you know, pretty close to a banger. Like, man, I wouldn't mind rewatching this again. Like, it was fun. I had a fun time watching it. And it's just like, it didn't take itself too seriously, and just the romance with Thor and Jane was a lot better, and just Jane in general was a lot better, and just the whole premise was just really fun. But yeah, so that's basically all I have to say about Thor, Love and Thunder. If you want to see more of my face, you can follow me on my other social medias, and if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next week, and stay sparkly, my dudes!